Man, I love this job. All right, well, the time has come, a couple of minutes after the hour, and of course, yours truly, Pastor Kevin on the G. The M, the A, the P, the GMAP Broadcast Network. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. I am feeling pretty good, and the music is pretty much sounding blessed. And, of course, as I promised you a little earlier, we have quite a few people we're going to be reaching out to. We got a great program scheduled for today. And, of course, I am continuously asking for your blessings, your prayers. If you want to be a blessing to us financially, you are always welcome to visit our broadcast network site and sow a seed that way. And we are going to be honorable. We're going to be grateful. We're going to be thankful to any and everything that you decide to do, even by your presence here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. So we thank God for you. In the meantime, it's time for me to see if I can make this phone line work. Promised you that I was going to be reaching out and reach out to this young man and, have a conversation with him on today. Mr. Tay T man, Minifield, and of course the time has come. Let's go ahead and see if he's available right here and or right now. All right.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning, Mr. Tay Minifield, please.
Yeah, this is him.
Yeah, how you doing, Tay? My name is Mr. Mitchell. I was calling in reference to your lawn care service.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, can you give me some estimates on your service, sir, and tell me what it is that you do exactly?
So we service both commercial and residential properties. Mm-hmm. As far as just pricing, it would have to be from the size of the property. So basic property for like just regular cut, mow, and debris removal. On the lowest, depending on the size of the property, again, from anywhere from 40 as low as 45 for residential. Mm-hmm. And that's just, like I said, again, just depending on the size of the property, how far we have to travel.
Oh, I see. Now, are you available for travel?
It depends on how far. What location are you in?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay, now I can't come to Chicago. I do apologize.
Well, we got a lot of snow and cold here, and I figured since you were a lawn care service, and you provide a good service, I figured you'd come here and take care of my yard, man. Get the snow out of the way, and maybe cut the grass, and maybe put some of that fertilizer stuff that you guys have down, and get it ready.
I think that's what we'll probably run into some problem there right now. You got snow, and we don't have snow in the south right now. And putting fertilizer on top of snow, I don't think that's going to mix too well. And even myself in the snow, that's not going to mix too well.
No. All right, man. This is Pastor Kevin from the GMAP Broadcast Network. Good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I was like, wait a minute.
You know, man, I just couldn't keep going. I was going to try to keep going, man, but I just couldn't keep going. Ladies.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm not fertilizer in the wintertime on snow. I'm like, this ain't even going to work. And I was like, okay.
Now, not only that, I wanted you to move the snow out the way. Yeah.
Right.
You got to move the snow out the way, and then you got, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, Tay T, man, Miniville right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. The morning show. I'm Pastor Kevin, man, having a great time, man. What's up, man? How you doing this morning, man? Tell me, man, how you doing?
Great, man.
Today is great.
Day, no complaints, man. Just got into the workplace, so I'm stepping out for a second. But man, it's great. It's blessed to be on top of the earth, man.
Hey, woo, man, you said a mouthful right there, man. For those that may not know who you are, man, you know, I know it's a challenge sometimes. We put ourselves out there in a position, man, to where we're hoping and we're praying that everybody pretty much has or will hear about us at some point. But for those that may not know, Tay T, man, Minifil, why don't you just share who you are? You already made it clear where you're from, man. I don't want you to don't dwell on that too long because I'm gonna start hating on you, man. You know, it's cold in the Windy City, and when I say cold, I'm talking about. We always talk about this, man. It's cold in Chicago. We are currently hitting record low temperatures.
Wow.
Record low.
Wow.
And
that's
just,
all I can say.
Yeah. And to top it all off, I can step out my front door and almost reach out and touch Lake Michigan.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. So pray for me, bruh.
Definitely.
Pray for me, because if you don't pray for me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Tay, how you doing, man? Remember me? You know, so
I got you.
Introduce yourself, man. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from, man. Go ahead.
Not a problem, man. I'm Tay T, man, Minifil, born and raised in the Opelika, Alabama. I'm 26 years old and formerly sung with Pastor Sean Jones in The Believer, who is also my pastor from the New Thing Empowerment Church right here in Auburn, Alabama. And I just released my first single entitled Wait on Jesus. You know, since that time, I've been writing and just decided to take this journey, just kind of to continue doing God's work in ministry. As you were saying for just a second ago, Kevin, here in my location, it's currently about 75 degrees, so I'm not complaining about that. No snow. I can actually walk outside probably with some shirts, a shirt and a pair of shorts.
All right, man. It was nice talking to you. Have a good day. You know, and send no pictures. Send me no pictures. You know, all right, man. You know, wait on Jesus. You know, you just currently mentioned the fact that it is your first project, your first single release, man. What brought you to this point, Tay? I mean, what made you get to the point to where, you know what, you was listening to the call and you said, you know, I have been called to sing for the Lord and spread the good news of God's gospel through song. But what elevated that point to you actually being the call? What I'm saying is, what brought you to the point to where you knew it was time for you to release this current single that you have?
Right. One of the biggest things I would say in regards to that is sometimes we have to move self out the way and really get into a place to hear from God. I would say 2017, 2018, the last quarter of 2017, going to 2018 was very traumatic for me. And I started dealing with a lot of things, a lot of losses, and I began to question God on why am I going through this season. And that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn is to move self out the way, sit down for a minute and get in a quiet place where you can be before God and allow him to speak to you. So I began to deal with some internal things. I even started going to counseling just to try to get through, to try to find myself back, because a lot of times, even in church, they say pray about it. And I totally agree with that. Definitely prayed about it. But sometimes we need some other help as well. And I got some guidance along the way. And what really caused me, my counselor, she told me to start writing down how I felt. And when I started to do that, and I started reading and I started praying more and applying all these principles together, that song came out of that hard time. I lost my pastor, I lost my lead singer, I lost my brother. He was everything. Outside of that, we lost our church. We closed our church back in April, and a few other things that went on in my life that transpired that was very hard for me. So I got to a place where I can just be before God. I stood still to hear His voice clearly and understand, to identify the voice of God. For one, sometimes we can move and say, "Well, God told me to do this," but you don't even have clarity if that's what God tells you. And I had to remove all distractions, eliminate all distractions out of my way, begin to write, and man, that song came out. So it's very transparent. If you listen to the lyrics to that song, it's very transparent of my reality at that moment. And it was just a rough season, but let me tell you something. Galatians 6:9 says, "Don't get weary in well doing, for a due season you'll reap if you faint not." And that's my story.
Wow. Man, that truly is a testimony that I know could go well beyond the slightness that you've been able to share with us here on today. And I had a conversation with a young man on last night, and you pretty much answered the question that he asked me. He asked me, what do you do when you get to the point to where as though you feel as you personally are in the belly of the whale?
Mm-hmm. So,
and we're on a program called Suffering in Silence.
Okay.
And the ultimate point of that is how to survive the journey to surviving pulpit depression. And we got people committing suicide that are preaching the word today and committing suicide tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of went over some of the very, very the very responsible way to react or respond.
Absolutely.
And I thank God for you on that, man. Now, who are some of the people that you worked with on your current single Wait on Jesus as you continue to listen and move forward with it?
Absolutely. My producer, Tamarcus Walker, he's keyboard player for Lisa Knowles and the Brown Singer. Even herself as well, Lisa Knowles, she was a big help. You praying for me and pushed me through the side of ministry. I can say my parents, Tommy and Vicky Minifield, my group members, most of all, the Believers, Trey Merritt, who played guitar on the track, Charles Davis, who did my recording, and so there was a lot of family, a lot of great friends, and a lot of people from the quartet industry who really supported me, and fans of the Believers, and it really would push me to go, to actually release it.
Okay, and of course I know that the publicity that has began to transpire. We are grateful for Lachelle Crump, who has allowed some of the current information and promotional material to be released at the very least on social media.
Right.
Great young lady. Been knowing her for a little while. Can't wait to really come in personal contact with her to see what it is that God has in store for us as well. But I got to ask you this question, man, and I'm gonna kind of take a journey, a sidetrack here. Being the age you are, having gone through a lot of the things that you have gone through, how do you maintain staying on track to do the service of the Lord?
Man, let me tell you one thing. I heard you say Lake Michigan, and for one, I'm gonna say I love to fish, so I'm very familiar with Lake Michigan and that. During my season, I would go to the lake to go fishing, and but not only just that, it's a place where I go to just kind of meditate and just to be involved with nature and just to kind of pray and just try to get in the space before God. And in that moment, I heard God say, I began to question God on why this season, what season is this that I'm in, and how do I get out of that? And God said, and I asked him to help me understand what was going on. And he said, well, before that, I took a picture. I went out one evening. I took a picture of the sunset and in my phone. And then like a week later, I went fishing earlier that morning, and I took a picture of the sunrise. And I didn't really understand it. And I was just going through my phone one day, and I was like, I like these pictures. So I saved one as my home screen on my phone and the one as my lock screen. And when I went out there to the lake one the week after, that Saturday morning, I looked at my phone, and the God said, I had to allow some things to sunset in your life so that the sun can rise again in other places. And when I tell you, that ministered to me on another level. And even that same day, God said, let the hurt work, which means we have a choice on what we do when we're going and dealing with situations. So either you're going to keep pushing forward, pressing your way through it, or you can let this hurt work to get where you need to be. And so that's my saying, man. I let the hurt work, and I allow myself to go through the process. Have those days where you have to cry it out, get it out, but at the same time, let the hurt work. Get back up, push yourself, press your way, get in the place before God, and positive lives, man. That's my reality.
Wow. Well, and it's amazing that you even said that, because I was sharing that this morning. No matter what you go through, no matter what people think, do, feel, or say, press your way, pray, and continue to praise the name of Jesus, because he can and will, but God needs to know, and he needs to allow you to realize the importance, very, very important, that we realize that we serve a jealous God. On purpose. He chooses to be that way. But he must also allow you to realize that you must give God the glory, because that's why we go through some of the stuff we go through, is because God needs to get the glory.
Man.
Oh my goodness, man, I can go on forever.
I found myself saying, God, if you allowed it to happen, then I know it must be well.
Yeah.
Because I know you haven't brought me this far, and I know you're not going to leave me this far.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Man, I appreciate you being here on today. Of course, I know you're at work. I'll be playing your single in its entirety at the conclusion of this conversation, man. But if someone wanted to reach out to you, talk to you, find out who you are, what you're doing, where you're doing it, how you're doing it, who you're doing it with, all that great stuff in life, how do they do it, man? Can you be reached through social media, email, management, website? Tell us how to reach you, man.
Absolutely. I do have a booking manager. Her name is Kara Foster. You can contact her at 706-905-5324. Again, Kara Foster, who is my booking manager, at 706-905-5324. And she also has social media by Kara Foster. You can contact me on Facebook as well, Tay T Man Minifield, on my music page or my personal page. I'm also on Twitter with the same name, and Instagram, Tay T Man Minifield.
Man. Tay T Man Minifield. Man,
yes,
you know what? I promise, man, next time I call you, man, I won't be trying to get my lawn serviced, okay? I mean, I'm just saying, because I think I got you when I said, are you willing to travel? You were like, yeah, I'll travel, but you wasn't willing to come to Chicago. So
no, I couldn't do that. We got me done with that.
Man, that is great stuff, man. I can't thank you enough for being here on today, man. And, of course, if there's anything that we can do to continue to help elevate your presence worldwide, by all means, we encourage you to pick up the phone. Let us know what you're doing, when you're doing it, where you're doing it, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in helping expose all of the awesome things that God has blessed you to do. And I just want to share this with you, man, and I thank God for your presence. I always go back to a message that I preached one time, and a young lady who, God rest her soul, she has gone on to be with the Lord. She told me, after 50 years, that message that God implemented in me to share on that day was the best message she had ever heard in life.
Wow.
And she was 80 years old.
Wow.
And she had been in church for a long time. And I was like, well, what is it about that message that blessed you so much? She went on to tell me that it was the title of the message. She said, once I heard the title of the message, I had already been blessed, and I knew that God was going to continue to bless me through the message. And I want to tell you this. You implemented that message today, and the title of that message was, There's a Miracle Attached to Your Circumstance. A lot of people didn't understand that when I said it. They say, well, Jesus went on and he had to go down that long road of Golgotha. He got beat, he got spit on, he got talked about, he got ridiculed, this, that, and the other. Where's the miracle in that? I say, but you got to listen to what the songwriter said. He said, but that's not how the story ends. Oh, my God. I'm getting fired up over here because 3 days later, he rose again. See, we can't just nitpick and read it up to a certain point and then just accept it. You got to read the whole thing. You got to hear it out. And God blessed me because I listened to what you said. And I listened to how you lost this and you lost that. And you probably felt like throwing your hands up.
Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, just let me make it clear, when you throw your hands up, you are surrendering to something.
Yep, absolutely.
Whether it's God
yep,
or the enemy.
Yep,
you're surrendering to something. So I heard you say you threw your hands up, but you didn't stop, because that's not how the story ends. You implemented the very thing that Jesus went through to get to where he has you now. You know why you did that, man?
Talk, man.
Your destiny was determined before your delivery. Wasn't nothing you can do about it.
Talk.
Man.
That's good stuff.
Man.
That's good stuff.
Man. I'm just saying. Your destiny was determined before your delivery. Really, it wasn't nothing you can do about it. You had to go through that transitional process to give God the glory so you can realize that you have a destiny, and you're not going to stop until you reach that point. Man, I love you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to go ahead and bless the people with your single. I know you are at work in Florida. All right, I know you at work in where you are in the South right now, and you don't have to implement that right now, sir. You can just say I'm at home, and that's good enough. While I'm
oh man, I gotta embrace it, man. I gotta embrace it.
You know, no pictures allowed. None of that. I'm in Chicago, and we are hitting record-breaking low temps. You know, I'm grateful because I'm sitting in my home. We got heat.
Oh, yeah.
We got gas.
Yes, sir.
We got food. You know,
sir.
We're still alive, and we're still moving forward for his glory. So I'm grateful. I'm not complaining. You know, but we thank God for you, man. We appreciate you being here. I got to say one more thing. I know you got to go, but I need you to do one more thing before you go.
Okay.
I just invited you up to the podium in what we call our megatorium. Okay, now my megatorium is Joel Osteen's auditorium and the Potter House, TD Jakes. I have connected them, and I call it the megatorium. Now, the megatorium has over 20,000 seats in it, filled by 20,000 young men. I have had the privilege of inviting Tay T-Man Minifield to the podium to say something to those young men. Hey, brother, what would you say to them?
Absolutely. I would definitely tell them, as young men, we got to learn how to stand still, wait on Jesus before we move to our next level. Galatians 6:9 always says, don't get weary in well doing, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. Sometimes as young men, we're not taught how to deal with our emotions, how to handle them. But I want to tell you, don't ever be ashamed to love, to cry, to get whatever it is that you need to get out the way. Get to a place, surround yourself with great brothers find your pastor, find your good leadership, and whatever it is, give yourself positive vibes. Positive vibes. Allow yourself to go through that process. But at the end of the day, remember, you have a choice. Let the hurt work.
Wow. Whew. Man, I'm speechless on this end, and it's simply because I have been blessed by your very presence here on the GMAP Broadcast Network on today. Again, man, we love you. We support you. And we want to encourage everybody else. Go out and make sure you pick up the latest copy. Available now, all digital outlets. Wait on Jesus. Tay T, man. You can't forget the T man part now. You just can't be saying, Tay, can I get Tay Minifield, please? No.
Right.
You got to let it all out, man. You got to get the T. If you don't say T man, I'm not going to even play it until you say, can I hear Tay T man? Minifield, right here. All right, man. God bless you, man. We appreciate you, man. I'm going to go ahead and bless the people with your single, man. But to get back to work, man, continue to be a blessing to all people around the world. And we look forward to hearing from you and talking to you again soon, okay?
All right. Thank you, man.
All right, bro. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, you too.
Tay T Man Minifield on show.
Galatians 6:9 says, don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. I just want to encourage somebody out there, whatever it is, just wait on Jesus. I'm going to wait on Jesus. Yes, I'm going to wait on him. No matter how long, I'm going to wait on Jesus. Ooh, yeah. Wait until Jesus comes. Whatever you need, have faith. It will come. Stand right there and keep on holding on. Have faith. It will come. Let me sing it one more time. Gonna wait on Jesus. So got to wait. Gonna wait on him. Anybody out there that's gonna wait on Jesus. Wait until he comes. Jesus. Whatever you need, have faith. It will come. Stand right there and keep on holding on. Have faith. It will come. Oh yeah. For the past few months, I've been frustrated. Dealing with life, I was hurt and aggravated. I cried out, Lord, please tell me what to do. He said, listen here, Tay, all I'm trying to tell you. Oh yeah, it will come. Don't give up, don't give in. Have faith, it will come. Listen, I know you've been praying for such a long time, asking God for strength and a peace of mind. You've got to hold on and be steadfast. Speak over yourself that this too shall pass. It will come. Don't you worry, you got to have faith. Yes, it will. It will come. Oh yeah. Gonna wait on Jesus. I sure got to wait. Gonna wait on him. Anybody out there that's gonna wait on Jesus. Wait until they come. Whatever you need, have faith. It will come. I ain't gotta worry, I'm gonna keep on holding on. Have faith. It will come. All you got to do is learn how to stay right there and stand still. Yeah. And wait on Jesus. Don't betrayal.